can, come and spend a few hours with us on Saturday, September 20th. Then, coming up on October 11th, we'll have the installation of President-elect Zuri and his administration. That's going to be a joint installation. It's going to be held on October 11th at the Hope United Church. It's along with 23 Central Surrey Online, as well as Nation Builders Kingston. That's Saturday, October 11th, starting at 4 p.m. So please put that in your calendar. We're looking for everybody's support for that special occasion. And then this evening, we are very privileged to have with us Captain Lorie-Ann McIntosh as our guest speaker. Captain McIntosh is a talented and well-respected architect. She's the CEO of McIntosh Collaborative, which is a boutique architect firm here in Kingston. And she's quite capable to be talking this evening about the changing architecture that we see in Kingston, whether it's because there has been a change in the density rules, or that the economy is flourishing, or the rise of the BPO industry. There are a number of things that are happening not only in Kingston, but throughout Jamaica, which is changing the architectural landscape. And we thought that Ms. McIntosh would be the right person to, from an architect perspective, to tell us about some of the exciting projects that are on the way, some of which she's working on, and her foresight as to how Kingston or Jamaica will look maybe 5-10 years from now based on the projects that she's aware of. So the topic is titled Roots and Roofs, Architectural Identity for Sustainable Growth. And I myself and all the members are looking forward to an engaging and entertaining and informative presentation by Captain McIntosh later on this evening. So thank you again for your support. I know you're very busy, but we appreciate the time, and we are looking forward to your contribution at this time. Also, to remind members that we like to make our meetings, even though it's not face-to-face, very interactive. So please use the chat feature. If you have any questions or any comments, please put it in the chat, and we will accommodate a few questions also at the end of Ms. Captain Lorie-Ann McIntosh's presentation. So that's my few words of opening remarks, but now I notice...
President?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You spoke about feeding the homeless and providing them with good spirit, but I would suggest that you be very specific when you talk about spirits.
Spirits, yes.
Some persons here might read it wrong, you know.
Yes, good cheer.
Yeah, that's better.
And positive energy. And it goes a long way, you know. If you smile or you just wish them good morning or all the best, they're not used to that level of care and attention, and they really appreciate it. And you see it in how they respond, and they're both physically or what they say to you. So yeah, it goes a long way. Don't underestimate the efforts that we make at that project. So I was saying that we do have quite a few Kiwanians who are here, and I do see President-elect Zuri online. So I'm going to task him with doing the official welcome and introduction of our guests and members at this time. Zuri, I think I saw you.
Thank you, President Stephen.
Over to you.
Good evening, one and all. On behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, I extend very warm greetings to you on this Tuesday evening. I know you have many options and there are many other places that you could have been, so we are grateful that you chose to be with us this Tuesday evening as we have another of our weekly meetings. This week promises to be quite interesting, as always, and very educational and informative. I know persons want to hear invest, that your ears perk up. So this evening, we will be talking about investing in Jamaica's architectural identity. And with that said, I want to extend special welcome to our presenter for this evening, Captain Lorie-Ann McIntosh. And if it is, Captain, that you have anyone who is with you this evening, we also extend warm Kiwanis Club of Kingston, greetings to them. And we thank you for your time. Thank you for coming to share with us this evening. And at this time, I would like to extend invitation to all Kiwanians online, wherever you are from, to open your microphones and bring us greetings and just let us know who is in our company this evening. And I am going to start with Kiwanis clubs outside of Jamaica. If we have any Kiwanis clubs outside of Jamaica, now is your opportunity to open your microphone and share with us. All right. Division 25. Do we have anyone visiting from Division 25?
Good night, everyone. This is President Lorie-Ann from the Kiwanis Club of Coastal Trelawney. We have 3 members of our delegation on the platform, and we are looking forward to an interesting meeting.
Thank you, President Tony. It's our pleasure to have you. And I am going to say it will, in fact, be quite interesting. By just the picture that's on screen now, I know it will be very interesting. Do we have anyone else from Division 25 online?
Yeah. Good evening, PE Zuri. This is Director. Hope all is well. I'm from the Kiwanis Club of Montego Bay, and I'm Crystal Heaven. We have 2 persons on so far because we're having a different meeting internally in our club. Thanks for the invite.
You're most welcome, and it's always our pleasure to have you on, even when you have other meetings. Thank you for sharing.
Definitely.
Do we have anyone else from Division 25? How about Division 24? Division 23 West? Division 23 East?
Very pleasant good evening. This is Sophia Fairman, President Kiwanis Club of New Kingston. Very interesting topic, and there are 7 of us online, 7 members, and I also invited my daughter Kelly to join. She's an architectural student at Tulane University, and I wanted her to listen in, so I have her as my guest. But there are 7 members, including myself, and looking forward to a very, very good presentation. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. You're always welcome. Always a pleasure to have our New Kingston family online. And special welcome, Kelly. And I hope that this will be quite the presentation for you.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Do we have anyone else from Division 23 West?
East.
Division 23 East. Do we have anyone from Division 23 East on? Division 23 Central. Do we have anyone joining from Division 23
President-designate Zuri, of course you do. This is President Claudine from the Kiwanis Club of West St. Andrew. There are 9 of us joining the meeting this evening. It is always a pleasure to be joining our brothers our grandparents, actually, from the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. We're looking forward to a fantastic evening. You're counting down 3 weeks to go.
Well, I'm not sure if I should be nervous, anxious, not sure how I should be feeling, but it's our pleasure to have you, our West St. Andrew family, and always a pleasure, President Claudine. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.
You are welcome.
Do we have anyone else from Division 23 Central?
Hello, good evening, PD Zuri. How are you doing?
Good evening, President.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. And you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
So I am President Eurydice from the Kiwanis Club of 23 Central. Sorry, online. Now, this time we have a delegation of 3 to include PD LaShawn and VP Maxine. Also, I just saw in the chat where DLG Desmond is off to Constant Spring, where he's doing some DLG work by pinning President Bashiva. So he asked me to extend his apology that he's not out transicizing, but that he's out his work. So with that said, I'm looking forward to this wonderful meeting. Roots and roofs, interesting topic. Thank you so much for the invitation.
You're most welcome, and it's our pleasure to have you. And we hope that this will be quite the fascinating presentation, and we will all learn as we get more rooted in knowledge.
I know, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
Do we have anyone else from Division 23 Central? All right, well, let me just wish for you all the very best for this evening, and that we all have some interesting takeaways from the meeting. Have a good evening, everyone. And back to you, President Stephen.
Thank you, President.
Before you go, PD Zuri, I would extend a special welcome to our newest Kiwanian, Jervin Burton, who's on the call.
Well, thank you, DLG. I didn't realize that I did not ask about guest of Kiwanis. My apologies. So to my guest of Kiwanis, you are also very welcome to our meetings this evening. I'm so sorry. Do we have any guests of Kiwanians online? Or do we have any members of our SLP community online? Okay, well, welcome to our newest Kiwanis Club of Kingston member, and now officially back to you, President Stephen.
Okay, welcome, Joey, and thank you, President-elect Zuri. Well done as usual. Thank you. Let's move on with our program so we can get to our main presentation. Apologies from absence. You heard President Eurydice mention a while ago. We have apologies from distinguished Lieutenant Governor Desmond. But Secretary Willie, is there any other apologies that you have formally?
Distinguished President Richard Reese.
And
of
Treasurer
course,
Orville.
I want to apologize for Treasurer Orville Lewis, who's stationed in Grand Cayman.
Okay. Understood and noted. Thank you. Now we're going to ask distinguished President Newton if he can share with us birthdays and anniversaries. I think I saw him online earlier. Over to you, Newton.
Yes, President, I'm right here.
Okay, good.
Thank you, President Stephen. Good evening, everyone. I am going to start this evening by saying, PDT Ralston, are you there, sir? PDT Ralston, you still there?
Yes.
Did you remember that today is Yolanda's birthday?
No, sir.
Well, boy, I can't help you because the dog was full. So you have to go make it out on your own. So today, people, is the birthday of Yolanda. And Yolanda is the wife of PDT Ralston Nunes. Oh, I hear he's now a preacher. According to President Stephen. Today is also the birthday of Chairman Garfield Wint. Right? And it is the anniversary of Kiwanian Cleveland Williams and his wife, Carol. And then on the 13th of this month, it will be the birthday of Alice. And Alice is the wife of PD Stottrell Lowe. I hope I've gotten everybody. But if I didn't, and if there's anyone on the platform tonight who is celebrating a birthday, anniversary, special occasion, and you want to let us know so we can celebrate with you, I invite you through President Stephen to just open your microphone and let us know now. Anyone? No? Okay, President Stephen, I guess it's back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Newton. I saw somebody posted that PDT Ralston is a good Baptist. Well, another person can vouch for his seminary skills. Let's move on.
I'm
Go
being
ahead.
trapped. Yes.
So it appears.
I went to a Baptist school, President.
That explains it. A good school nonetheless. A good school in addition, not nonetheless. Yes. All right, so now we have Kiwanis Education, and I'm going to invite Secretary DLG Willie to share with us some Kiwanis Education at this time.
Thank you, President Stephen. Good evening, members and guests. For this evening, I thought I would turn our attention to a particular category of membership, and that is honorary membership. Eligibility for honorary membership. Persons who have distinguished themselves by meritorious service in the furtherance of the policies and programs of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston may be elected to honorary membership, subject to prerequisites as outlined by the board for such membership. Rights and privileges. Honorary members shall be exempt from the payment of admission fees and membership dues, and have no vote and shall not be eligible to hold any office in the club. Such members shall be entitled to attend all meetings and enjoy all the privileges of the club. Honorary members of the club may visit other Kiwanis clubs alone and represent the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Objectives for honorary membership: to recognize the members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston for their outstanding contribution in the execution and implementation of the club's projects and programs, whether in cash or kind, and who want to continue to be members, but due to financial challenges and health challenges, they are unable to pay their dues. To provide an opportunity to long-term members who can no longer attend meetings regularly to have satisfied Kiwanis International attendance requirement, and to provide membership to persons in Jamaica who command immense respect of and influence on the populace, which can result in greater support of the club's goals, programs, and the objects of Kiwanis International. Criteria: the following guidelines must be used for nomination to honorary membership. The member must be in good standing at the time of nomination. The member has distinguished himself through significant participation in furtherance of the club's policies, programs, and projects, and is unable to pay his dues due to financial hardship, but wants his membership to continue. At the discretion of the board, honorary membership may be allowed where a member has ongoing medical conditions or similar hardship, and he is unable to attend meetings or participate in the club's activities, but who wants to maintain his membership. The nominee commands immense respect of and influence on the populace, which can result in greater support of the club's goals and programs and the objects of Kiwanis International. Finally, constraints and responsibilities of an honorary member. He is recognized as a full member of the club. He is not recognized by Kiwanis International. He does not pay club dues, district, or Kiwanis International dues. He pays a club function to the same extent as ordinary members. For example, pays to attend our Christmas charity ball and any other fundraising activities. Thank you, President.
Can the member nominate themselves?
Good question. Good question, Ralston. Or past district trustee Ralston. I'm not sure that would go down well, will it? They could mention a name to somebody, I would imagine.
I think the member could request it, but it's not up to him to nominate himself.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's
correct.
Okay. Thank you, distinguished Lieutenant Governor Willie, for that Kiwanis education. And now we're going to move the program along. We now are going to get to our feature presentation, our guest speaker, and I'm going to invite Dr. Kiwanis Martino to do the formal introduction of our guest speaker at this time.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
There you are. Good.
All right, so Captain Lorie-Ann McIntosh is a registered architect in Jamaica with over a decade of experience in residential, commercial, and institutional design. She began her career as a project architect in private firms where for 11 years, she led the design and management of numerous built works across the island. From 2020 to 2023, she served as Senior Project Officer with the One Engineer Regiment, where her skills supported the timely and effective delivery of purpose-built facilities in the military. She was the first registered architect to be employed by the Jamaica Defense Force. Her expertise in construction and the built environment, combined with her drive to explore new methodologies for efficient building, has shaped her reputation as a thoughtful and innovative practitioner. In 2023, Lorie-Ann founded the McIntosh Collaborative, a design studio rooted in philosophy that architecture must be both purposeful and contextual, balancing innovation with respect for culture, climate, and place. The firm is committed to creating designs that are modern, yet grounded in Jamaican identity, integrated substantial principles where embracing new technologies. Through McIntosh Collaborative, Lorie-Ann continues to pursue her passion for design in projects that celebrate functionality, creativity, and a deep sense of belonging to the environment. Prior to her military career, Arch McIntosh also represented Jamaica in the sports of hockey for 20 years and attended the Olympic Youth Camp at the 2000 Sydney Olympic Games. She currently serves as a board member on the Architects Registration Board and as project officer with the Support Battalion, Jamaica National Reserve. We welcome Captain Lorie-Ann McIntosh.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for that introduction, Martino. Is everyone seeing my screen?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Okay, perfect. Today, I want to talk about something that is very close and dear to my heart, and that is our Jamaican architectural identity. I want to speak about the principles that have guided it for generations through lived experiences and the development pressures that are putting that same identity at risk. Architecture is not just about buildings. It is about the people, it is about the culture, and it is about the identity. As the saying goes, architecture is the most visible form of culture. When we walk through Kingston, we walk through Trelawney or Montego Bay or any other of the other parishes, the buildings we see should tell us who we are, what we value, and how we live. At the end of this presentation, I'm hoping that everyone will have an appreciation for the Caribbean vernacular and will realize the importance of its preservation. This will by no means be a lecture on architecture or history, but rather a call to action to at minimum start some sort of dialogue around this topic. What is Caribbean vernacular architecture? Our vernacular architecture is shaped by three things: climate, culture, and locally sourced materials. But before I delve into Caribbean vernacular architecture, I have to define the word vernacular because I'll be using it right throughout the presentation. The word vernacular describes what is locally born with origins inside the Caribbean. Paul Oliver, who is a British architectural historian, defines vernacular buildings as part of the moral climate of the culture that may relate to ancestry and lineage, social and family structures, dependence on and nurturing of the environment, and including the accumulated knowledge and transmission of skills to meet those socio-cultural needs. Vernacular architecture is design that evolves naturally from local conditions, so our climate, our culture, and the resources that we have. In Jamaica specifically, this has meant wide verandas that encourage community gathering, jalousie or louver windows that capture breezes, pitched roofs that shed heavy rains, and raised floors that help with both ventilation and flooding. These were buildings that were made to fit Jamaica. They were not imported ideas, but rather adaptations for our local context. Our indigenous and African ancestors, through their own inherent knowledge, lived experiences, and practice, have contributed to the development of styles and construction of Caribbean vernacular architecture. This, of course, was in an effort to mitigate the effects of natural disasters like earthquakes, tropical storms, and hurricanes in our tropical climate. By virtue of these very developments, a Caribbean vernacular architecture was created, and these very principles have contributed significantly to the goals of sustainable development. I will discuss briefly some of these principles, and I'm going to start with verandas, wide and deep verandas. As simple and often overlooked, verandas actually protect the core of the building where important spaces are located. They also shade windows from solar heat gain and direct storm water away from those windows and door openings. These shaded spaces where we gather also foster social engagement and allow occupants to actually connect with nature. Another climatic solution incorporated in our vernacular architecture is jalousie or louvered windows. Louvered windows provide superior natural ventilation by allowing natural airflow to penetrate the interior through the angled openings. They offer privacy, they offer security, and they control the level of sunlight that enters the interior spaces. Contrary to popular belief, they are hardy and offer significant protection from hurricanes and heavy rain due to the interlocking of the actual louvers. There's, of course, the glass variation of the louver, but in this context, we're speaking of the wooden type. I remember, and I'm sure some of you can remember as well, growing up as a child in the 80s, almost every home, school, or commercial building had louvered windows. Now, louvered windows are considered old and are not the preferred option over glass windows that offer very few benefits and functions that the louver windows offer. A glass window, whether you push it out or you slide it across, has to be fully closed during a normal episode of rain. And then, of course, because you have to close it, you have to turn on the AC. And as a result, there's no airflow going through the house or the building at that point. The louvered window, on the other hand, can be angled to keep the rain out and maintain some level of natural ventilation. The same goes for a hot sunny day. Glass windows get very hot from direct sunlight, and that heat is transferred into the interior spaces. Louver windows, whether wood, PVC, or aluminum, is less likely to absorb the heat. There have been significant improvements of the louvered window product over the years, because I know most of us, when we speak about louvered windows, we're thinking about the old serpentine louvers. But there has been significant improvements over the years with the louvered window product. Some of them now include gaskets and seals to improve waterproofing and also have enhanced security features. For me, I will be an advocate for louvered windows forever. They are so applicable to our local context. Pitched roofs. Pitched roofs go as far back as the 1700s. Pictured here at the bottom left of your screen is the Rose Hall Great House that was built in the same period by British colonizers. There's research that pitched roofs were conceptualized by the Europeans. Some researchers indicate that indigenous people pitched their roofs well before colonization. If you ask me, I believe the two occurred independently at the same time, but I'm no historian. What is important in this discussion is the usefulness of this building practice and how our predecessors modified the pitched roof to fit our local context. Pitched roofs allow for stormwater to run off and wind resistance. Back then in the 18th and the 19th centuries, roof angles were at 60 degrees and 45 degrees with very short eaves. That was commonplace at the time. And yes, of course, you know, roofs blew off every now and again, but what we have discovered over the years is that 30 degrees is optimal for withstanding our hurricane force winds and minimizing uplift and structural stress on the timber members. We've also figured out in more recent times that there are other engineered solutions and additions like hurricane straps that are used to secure rafters to belt beams. On the right of your screen is Round Hill Hotel in Trelawney with optimal 30-degree angles for the roof pitch, as opposed to the steeper pitch that you are seeing in the image of Rose Hall. Today, we see an increase in flat concrete roofs being built. The issue with flat roofs is the constant leaking during rainy periods. I mean, so much now that persons have to resort to constructing pitched roofs over their existing concrete slabs to mitigate the problem after very little success with alternate forms of waterproofing products. Maybe it is just that these roofs, these flat roofs, are not suitable for our environment. Raised floors. A common and useful building strategy to mitigate flooding was to raise the floors of the building. This allowed for storm water to run freely under the building as opposed to through the building. The beauty about this strategy is that it also aided with the natural cooling of the building by allowing breezes to actually pass under the floors. Of course, today, engineering efforts allow us to now route stormwater into cross drains for further disposal in pits and natural waterways, but of course, at an added cost. Raising our floors is a low impact, low cost way of protecting buildings from flood damage and for passive cooling, especially in areas with sloping terrain. Locally sourced materials. The material palette of the Caribbean architecture, vernacular architecture, was not derived out of pure aesthetics. It was intentionally chosen based on what was available at the time. Wood and stone were, of course, available materials between the 1700s and 1800s. Brick was also available. However, after the 1907 earthquake, there was significant damage to structures, and then building practices evolved. Concrete became popular in the 20th century, and wood and stone remained as part of the vernacular. There are various woods endemic to Jamaica. We know some of them: guango, mahogany, juniper cedar, and ponderosa pine, and they all have different applications within the construction industry. Stone, such as limestone and natural river stones, were widely used, and to this day, I'm sure some of you can see some of the structures that were built in previous centuries. We can still see them standing today. Culture, this is a big one. Caribbean vernacular architecture is a syncretic style, heavily influenced by the indigenous people, the Africans, and the European people who inhabited the region. Indigenous settlements built by Taínos, they developed distinct house forms and settlement patterns. The indigenous bohio and cane were early indigenous dwelling types that were incorporated and adapted into later vernacular architecture. African slave settlements as well. The Africans built Building traditions also contributed to the development of structures that were adapted to the tropical climate, such as those designed to catch prevailing trade winds. Today, we as architects, we are trained to catch those prevailing winds when we're designing buildings. The Europeans, of course, they brought Georgian architecture to the region. New materials and construction techniques, such as use of cast iron from the French and mechanical saws from the Scottish, significantly influenced the building methods and aesthetics of the region. And of course, after colonization, in the post-colonial era, there was the act of painting buildings with distinct colors, and it was a tangible manifestation of newly asserted identities and a way to differentiate ourselves from the dominant colonial aesthetic, while the choice of lighter shades was a practical adaptation to the climate, because of course, lighter colors reflect heat. All right, this is basically a pictorial showing the origins and the manifestations that have been born out of the fusion of the different influences, cultural influences. To the top left is an early drawing of the typical bujio from the Taínos. You can clearly see indication of the porch at the front of the bujio with the gable end roofs. Then the typical Georgian house with its symmetry, steeply pitched roofs, and sash windows. That's the picture in the center at the top. The combination of these influences over time produced beautiful manifestations that were designed specifically for our local conditions. Some of them are displayed here. Devon House, which is an accurate display of the Jamaican architectural identity. Then there's also Strawberry Hill in the bottom left, featuring the quintessential vernacular architecture designed by architect Anne Hodges. And then there's the Sussex House, which is beautifully painted in blue. And then the Sussex House, the Mila Braca Resort, which is unfortunately now closed. These are but a few examples of that distinct identity we speak of. But, it would be remiss of me to show you this beautiful architecture and not make the point that the value of these properties hold today. These properties attract higher sale values if we are to compare square foot to square foot with some of these newer, quote unquote, luxury developments. I had to mention this because I know some persons are of the belief that building this way is of little or no value. Why the vernacular matters? It is naturally sustainable. We can conserve on energy through passive ventilation, through the use of materials with low embodied energy like wood and stone. And our reliance on energy can be severely minimized, and we can minimize on waste. The vernacular forces us to be more resourceful by using these same renewable, locally available materials. Materials like bamboo was discovered later on to be a useful building material that is also very renewable. And who have more bamboo more than we? The vernacular has proved to be socially beneficial through the use of communal spaces like courtyards and verandas. Building in this fashion is also economically sustainable. By participating in the local economy, we are able to develop local industries, thereby reducing our reliance on imported goods and high embodied energy materials. And lastly, but definitely not least, is the preservation of our architectural identity. Buildings that not only look, but feel Jamaican. These design elements weren't just beautiful, they were practical, they were sustainable, and deeply Jamaican. They kept homes cool without the need for air conditioning, used local materials that were renewable, and created spaces that encouraged social connection. Most importantly, they gave us a built environment that looked and felt Jamaican, reinforcing our cultural identity. But there's a shift. There has been a shift. In more recent times, development has shifted. As cities expand, we see more glass towers and gated communities being built. Housing developments push for uniformity and speed amid development pressures. Gated communities create social segregation and loss of community interaction. What is lost in this shift is the adaptation to our climate and the expression of our unique Jamaican identity. The images before you show the more recent developments that we can see around us today. The shift has also come about because of tourism-driven international aesthetics. International hotel chains bring in foreign designs, designed by foreign architects, and that brings forth a tourism-driven international aesthetic, which is totally devoid of the principles that we've used generation after generation. We saw in the travel news recently that the tallest hotel in the Caribbean is coming to Mobay. What is this hotel going to look like? Generic design is akin to a lost identity. These townhouses before you could be placed anywhere. The housing demand is pushing what I like to term anywhere designs. The material selection, the form, the window types go against all the architectural principles of our Caribbean vernacular. Look at the level of the floor. This is risky development. Fixed windows and large panes of glass give rise to heat gain and thus our reliance on mechanical ventilation. There's a proliferation of these generic manifestations in the market, and if we don't advocate as stakeholders and purchasers for our vernacular architecture, we'll pay the price in the long run. The push and pull, development versus sustainability. There's often this tension. On one side, the pressure for rapid development, profit, and international aesthetics. And on the other hand, more sustainable, climate-smart vernacular design. Too often, we are told that we have to choose a side. But the truth is we don't have to. We can develop sustainably with modern needs and still honor our roots. The cost of losing our roots. When we abandon vernacular principles, we pay the price. Energy costs rise as buildings rely on air conditioning instead of natural ventilation. Designs that ignore climate become uncomfortable, inefficient, and of course, a byproduct of that is a reduction in productivity. We also risk losing that distinctively Jamaican sense of place, ending up with buildings that could be anywhere in the world, but don't reflect us. We become more susceptible to damages from natural disasters if we do not employ the principles of the vernacular. We also begin to rely heavily on imported construction goods and services that drive construction costs through the roof. I'm sure some of you can relate. Additionally, if there's no demand for the services of our local tradesmen, they will actually migrate to where their services are needed or change to other industries. We will lose our local tradesmen and tradeswomen. What we eventually will end up with is what I like to term a copy and paste architecture. We copy from Florida and we paste it here. That is the reality we're faced with right now. And if we continue down this path, we risk becoming everywhere and nowhere. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about the economics of this architectural identity. People may say there's no benefit to building this way, but there is something called heritage tourism. Preserving the vernacular architecture can actually be of value to the economy. Heritage tourism is a fast-growing and valuable segment of the tourism market in Jamaica, driven by increasing global demand for authentic cultural experience that move away from the traditional sun, sea, and sand tourism. There exist global examples where heritage tourism is thriving. To name a few, Havana, Cuba, Tulum in Mexico, Charleston in South Carolina, Cartagena, Colombia, and the French Quarter in New Orleans. I will now discuss briefly two of these places. Okay, Havana, Cuba. Cuba's heritage tourism focuses on Old Havana, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its well-preserved colonial architecture and many historical squares. That is their historical tourism product. Its distinct architectural identity makes it a tourist destination with over 2 million visitors annually. Cuba preserves its architecture through a combination of strategies, including the designation of Old Havana as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which brings international focus and, of course, funding. The country also relies on tourism, where visitors' dollars fund gradual rehabilitation and restoration projects. So it's not done overnight. And often the renovation works and the restoration works are carried out by local architects with the support from international organizations and community involvement. Cuban architects use traditional building techniques and craftsmanship and have developed even specialized educational and training programs to maintain these skills for future generations. One might say that Cuba has not developed over the years due to the embargo. I'd say yes, that's true, and that they have no choice but to occupy these older structures. But what we can learn from this case study are some of the strategies that Cuba has employed in furtherance of making this place with very little income into a well-visited tourist destination that contributes to the local economy. Just think, can the same strategies be used in downtown Kingston? Imagine if downtown was preserved and restored to its former glory and marketed as a tourist destination. Cancun was the first village along Quintana Roo's Yucatan Peninsula to go mainstream in the 1970s. But multi-story resort hotels built up and down its beaches and made it look like the Miami of Mexico. It was chic and exciting, and the tourism was good for the local economy. American expats began to see the promise of retiring to Mexico, which further boosted the area's economy. But Cancun's rise from a sleepy fishing village to a purpose-built mass tourism resort came at a cost. Those who knew Cancun before would find the new Cancun completely unrecognizable. Those staying in its all-inclusive resorts and hotels or living in a luxe beachfront condo are some of the few people able to enjoy prime beach access. I'm sure this sounds familiar. There was a fear that Tulum, that's different parts of Mexico, would be subject to losing its identity, just like Cancun did, just to become another Quintana Roo tourist destination. But Tulum's early developers and the Mexican government decided to take action and to preserve Tulum's boho vibe, and it remains in spite of the fact that it has become one of the world's hottest tourist destinations. In line with Tulum's philosophy of preservation and sustainability, construction in the area focuses on eco-construction and the use of natural materials. Instead of using conventional materials such as concrete, local and sustainable materials are chosen, such as their tropical wood, which is certified, bamboo, adobe, and stone. And you can see that in the images on your screen. These materials, they blend harmoniously with the natural environment and integrate organically into architectural designs. Tulum stands as a contrast to the built-up environments of Cancun and Playa del Carmen. The efforts of Tulum's pioneers to preserve and protect Tulum have paid off. Even as one of the world's most popular tourist destinations, Tulum proves that it is destined and determined to remain one of the world's most special places through its preserved architectural identity. If you go to Tulum, you can definitely see that there is a continuous, cohesive architectural identity there. But there are opportunities for reconciliation. All is not lost on us. There are opportunities for us to reconcile and to bring back those principles that we've learned from generation to generation. And what's the solution? The solution is to reintroduce vernacular principles into modern design. We can incorporate shading devices. We can incorporate cross-ventilation strategies and verandas into new schools, hotels, and housing. We can use more of our local materials. Around the world, you will see examples of architects blending heritage with modern needs. Jamaica can do the same. In fact, I have attached in the next slide some local examples that show that the heritage can be blended with contemporary and modern needs. Okay, this is one of the projects coming out of McIntosh Collaborative. We designed this wellness retreat cottage, attempting to use the vernacular architectural principles we know that work within our local context. We incorporated the louvers, the jalousie windows. We incorporated deep and wide verandas to encourage interaction. And we created breezeways to force cross ventilation. And we also raised the floor, as you can see, to facilitate stormwater runoff and passive cooling under the building. The result is a piece of architecture that will blend traditional architectural principles with modern needs, creating a contemporary vernacular architecture that is fitting within the local context. This is another project that came out of my office. This pavilion at the Mulberry Valley Estate is part of a larger luxury ecotourism destination. The client's vision for the resort development is for it to be sustainable through the use of local materials, of course, and by virtue of the design principles forged by our ancestors. We designed the pavilion with a double-pitched roof, as you can see in the picture on the right. We raised the floors, we incorporated louvered screens, and deep and wide verandas. The stone that was actually used to build the retaining walls that you see in the top left corner, those stones were actually harvested from the nearby river. And the tradesmen that were employed to build the stone walls were actually from the adjacent community in St. Mary. The result is this beautiful architecture that looks and feels like it belongs there. This is Mila Bracco, that was designed by architect Clifton Yap. Local architect Clifton Yap, I should say. Mila Bracco is an all-inclusive hotel. Unfortunately, it is now closed, but it was designed to echo the traditional Jamaican tone. Streets lined by verandas, shaded walkways, and a water fountain area that replicated a town square urban center with its civic buildings around its perimeter. You can see that in the image at the top of the screen. The design showcases louvered windows, louvered screens, deep verandas and balconies, and pitched roofs. You can see that lighter colors were also used to paint the exteriors reminiscent of that Jamaican identity that we previously spoke about. The architecture became a part of that authentic Jamaican experience that tourists demand. And lastly, this is a house that I had designed recently at my office. It's called Fulcrum House. Our intent was for it to be a nod to the traditional Jamaican great house through the use of pitched roofs, deep public and private verandas, louvered screens, and raised floors. The material palette being proposed, as you can see, is comprised of wood, specifically limestone, and concrete. The client wanted it to evoke the feeling of the traditional great house, and I think we were successful in creating something more contemporary without sacrificing the traditional design principles we know to work in our climate and local context. All right. So imagine hotels that feel Jamaican, not just because of the reggae music in the lobby, but because the building itself reflects our identity. Imagine housing developments that are modern, but still using shading, verandas, and breezes to keep residents comfortable. Development that doesn't have to erase culture. It can celebrate it. In fact, our architecture could become a tourism asset in its own right. So here's a brief manifesto that I made up in furtherance of achieving sustainable growth as it relates to the built environment. We need to look at incorporating the vernacular architecture, which reflects local culture and traditional construction methods, thereby revitalizing the local craftsmanship and knowledge, creating a tropical modern aesthetic. We need to start using local raw materials in construction, supporting local industries. We should look at promoting local skills and tradesmen. We should look at branding the Jamaican design as a tourism asset. We should try to implement policies for heritage zoning and adaptive reuse incentives. We should also try to design our schools, homes, and commercial entities using traditional architectural principles, leading to lower operating costs, increased property values, and improved productivity. We should try to develop our local architectural industries, thereby creating equitable employment opportunities and supporting balanced regional development. This way, we reduce rural-urban migration by offering sustainable work prospects in local communities. And lastly, we should try to train our artisans, our masons, and carpenters in heritage skills. We need a development that actually celebrates our identity. So my challenge to you today is this: can Jamaica build forward without leaving its roots behind? I believe we need architects, we need policymakers, we need developers, and community leaders like those of you here at Kiwanis to advocate for development that balances progress with cultural preservation. If we succeed, our buildings will not only serve us better, but they also will tell future generations about who we are. We should strive to be the Caribbean leader in sustainable identity-based architecture. We want to be globally competitive through cultural authenticity. Every roof we raise should have roots in who we are. So I want to leave you with this thought. To lose our architecture is to lose a part of ourselves. Let's ensure that as Jamaica grows, it does not grow away from its roots. And thank you for your time and attention. I look forward to your questions. I hope it was not too lengthy. And hopefully we can have some dialogue or conversation how we can all play a role in protecting and promoting Jamaican architectural identity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Captain. I noticed you didn't share with us anything about the Jamaica Defense Force, but I might ask you a question about that later. But let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. How has we have had security issues in Jamaica over the time. How has people's desire for security impacted how we design? Other than gated communities. I'm not talking about just the concept of gated communities, but the actual house itself or structure, because it doesn't have to be just a house. What did you say to that?
All right, so security is definitely a big concern for most persons or developers within the built environment. And it has definitely impacted how we design. What we try to do as architects is to integrate security features within the skin of the building rather than building fences and barricades for entry. There exists houses, there exists commercial property that don't have your typical boundary walls and, high barbed wire fences and so on. To be honest with you, and this is something that I tell my clients, if somebody wants to get into your property, they will. A high fence is not deterring them at all. So what I usually do is try to employ the use of impact-resistant windows. We may use louvered screens that are actually dual in its function. It is not only shading the building, but it's also securing the building. So these are some of the strategies we can use as architects and developers in reinforcing security for our properties.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I see a hand up. DP Earl, yes, I see Earl's hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, good night, everybody. And I am so happy that although I'm slightly distracted, I tuned in from the beginning. And I'm very relieved to see that somebody is thinking differently from the masses. I use masses, meaning everybody else in your discipline, Captain.
Yes.
First of all, I learned a new meaning of vernacular. I had to look it up during the bit because I limited it to language. And I see where it's directed to architecture and as you described it. So I learned another word. It reminds me of a word I was trying to spell many years ago. And when I looked up the meaning, I was so surprised at the meaning. I said, that's not the one I meant. Then I found that it really did mean, it just that the meaning had changed over the years. So this is one of them. The word was liaison, but you can look it up one day to see why I said that. Yes, I am happy to hear these variations and the thoughts that go, but it sounds as if you don't have much company. Am I right?
You are right to a certain extent. The architectural community, meaning the architects, the local architects, they definitely would agree with the statements that I've made in this presentation. I'm pretty sure they would stand behind me. However, it's the demand and what is being demanded out there in the civilian streets that is affecting the built environment right now. We have a tendency as people to go abroad and try to implement what we see in foreign countries and try to put it here, copy and paste architecture as I refer to it as, and that is what is affecting us right now.
Yes, and I mean, the flat roof thing, I see you gave a solution to what some people have actually tried by using the, what do you call it, the peak roof atop the concrete. So I've learned quite a lot, and I am thankful that I was in on the program. Please continue the good work, and I hope you start influencing even developers. Don't look at just the money. So that's throwing away. We're going to look like, well, you have already said it.
Yes.
Thank you. This is lovely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, another point I want to raise, if I remember correctly, when you talked about the hotels, hedonism too, from what I remember. I haven't been there in a long time, but I have been there.
40 years ago.
All right. But what I seem to remember that it had a kind of a rustic, kind of a Jamaican design about it. I mean, would you agree? I'm trying to. This is just what I remember.
Yes, I remember it had some traditional elements to it. Yes, I do recall that. Yes. Some hotels do use the traditional elements, but because the majority of the hotels and the resorts in recent times are being built by foreign investors, foreign developers, they come with their own architects. And as a result, the architecture is reflective of an international style rather than, fitting within the context of Jamaica.
So we're going to lose our identity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, the point you made about the raised floors, we can remember that. Although our grandmother's house in Falmouth didn't have raised floors, but it was Georgian style architecture. I remember that.
Yeah, but Falmouth has a lot of Georgian architecture.
Yeah, but what I kind of associate with raised floors is seeing chickens and things running from under. You know, that's what I remember. So I didn't realize how functionally, I mean, the functional basis for it in terms of raising it for water, flooding, you don't just flood out the living room or so on. But I found that
for sheltering the animals.
Right. That is why the chickens were under there.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, it had that purpose. I found your presentation really, really very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you.
I want to make one comment about the flat roofs.
Can we get you a question, Stu?
Nobody's hand is up, Ralston. Okay, so if you put up your hands, I would recognize it. Or you can come in and tell me yes, you want to. So nothing is wrong with what you just did. But I was looking out for the hands because I didn't see the hands. I'm just continuing. This is a point I want to raise. when when we had Gilbert and a lot of roofs went, part of the reason why so many roofs went was because that traditional pitched roof, we
Right.
were departing from that, and a lot of uptowns and upper St. Andrew homes had flattened the roofs, and this is not with concrete now, flattened the roofs with cladding material, zinc if you want to call it, or aluminium sheeting. And that was where the uplift force would just take those roofs off. So I'm wondering, has there been a tendency since then to go back to the first principles of what we used to do? I can't say whether I'm seeing it or not.
Well, I can tell you this much. The flat roofs, as you've identified, came in after Gilbert. And what we realize now is that these flat roofs are either leaking or, as you said, tend to come off or, lifted off during hurricanes. Now, there's a method to doing proper flat roofs. And if you're covering the structure with I want to say, low-pitched timber roof. What will happen if you don't have an outlet for the air is that you're gonna get uplift. So I don't know if you remember or if you can recall that when you have the gabled ends of the roof, usually see a little louvered window at the top or the apex of the roof. Right below the apex of the roof, you'd have two little louvered fixed windows. That is actually not decoration. That is actually to allow the breeze to escape from under the roof, because that's what is lifting up the roof, the fact that the breeze has nowhere to go. So it just lifts up the roof off of the structure. What we find now is that persons are more leaning towards hipped roofs and regretting designing flat roofs because of the leaking situation. The leaking situation is really dire in our local context. One, because the waterproofing products that are being formulated are not being formulated for our temperate climate. Our climate, we experience really high temperatures during the summer. So what you find is that the waterproofing products, either they break down, they crystallize, or they just don't work.
Yes,
So
Crystal.
flat roofs tend to leak. So now people are recognizing that and say, boy, we can't bother the flat roof. Let's go with a pitched roof because you can get the water to run off easily. You can gutter it to go down into some soakaway pits and you're going clear. So we're seeing a shift now that people have exhausted all their options to waterproof their flat roofs and so on. People are now generally leaning towards flatter roofs, especially for their homes.
Yes. Thank you. I see a hand up. President Stephen.
Yes, thank you, Captain Lorie. A couple of questions and a comment. The comment first. I wanted to, well, first of all, thank you for a great presentation. And I wanted to know if you lecture at the architect school or if there are some similar like-minded persons that can extend that train of thought to younger architects who are coming up.
Well, this train of thought is not uncommon amongst architects. I do go to the School of Architecture at UTech every now and again to attend and critique students' work at their yearly exhibitions. But I do not lecture full-time or part-time at the school. I only go up there when I'm asked to participate as a guest critic at the school. As I said, what I am speaking about here is not uncommon amongst the graduates of the school and the registered architects here in Jamaica. It is just whether or not we are given the opportunity to implement these strategies across the built environment in Jamaica.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the wider audience it gets, especially to trained architects, I think is better for us. And then
Correct.
secondly, I was very excited a few years ago when they had this plan for Port Royal in terms of
Right.
architecture. This,
Right.
that you could
I'm glad you
theme
brought
it,
that up. Yes.
theme it in the Georgian style, and
Yes.
it wouldn't take much to reconfigure what is there to create
Right.
a real planned environment. What has
Right.
happened with that, and do you have any thoughts on that initial
Boy,
plan?
you know, Stephen, I actually, when I was in school, I heard about that plan. That was many years ago. Um, you
Bobby
know,
Bobby
and
Stevens.
Stevens.
Yeah.
and you know, as
Yeah,
with
politics,
most of the rehabilitation or the preservation projects in Jamaica, it is spearheaded by the government. We don't have much private sector injection into these projects. And of course, once we change government, or you know, the priorities of the administrating government, you know, those projects probably move down the totem pole year by year. So
unfortunately.
I actually was privy to the designs and saw them, and they were wonderful. And they, as you said, they reflected the Georgian architecture that has become a part of our identity. Right now, the Naval Hospital over by Port Royal is rotting. It is rotting. I'm pretty sure if we had, you know, followed through with the project, you know, these places could have become lovely places with, you know, tourism injected throughout Port Royal to kind of revitalize and bring energy back to Port Royal, but it just has not been done.
Okay. Very unfortunate. But so go ahead,
ahead.
DP.
Go ahead.
I'm finished. Those are my
Okay.
two comments. Thanks, Laurie.
No
Okay.
problem, Stephen.
I was just wondering, I don't see any more hands up. Is there anybody else who would like to say something and doesn't know how to use the hands up in Zoom? Or I don't know if there's any question in the chat. I haven't checked it recently.
Did PDT Ralston have a question or a comment?
Thank you, President. I think you kind of touched on what I was about to speak to, but I want to thank the Captain for her presentation, which I found very, very interesting. And what it reiterates in my mind is that you have conscious architects and commercial builders. Um, the whole business of loss of identity is dear to my heart because I remember growing up in Vineyard Town, there was a commonality in the buildings. They were all had wraparound verandas, wide verandas, and
Right.
this fretwork, I think it was called, around the roof.
Fretwork, yes.
Yeah, which we used to see in Spanish Town too. But over the years, people have just knocked them out, and you don't find many buildings with that type of what you call vernacular identity. Um, and I don't know if and when we will have a program like was being proposed in Port Royal where we try to recreate all of these things because having been to Olabana, I understand what it is for tourists going to that and just walking and observing the buildings. And I think we are missing out if we
We are
don't try
missing.
to recreate something like that.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you.
The whole concept of heritage tourism. Um, you mentioned Kingston. I was kind of trying to imagine what Kingston would look like if it had some of the structures, or if it looked like some of the structures that existed back in the day. But I guess that's what you're advocating, right? That's what you're saying.
Right. There are areas where there is a concentration of historical architecture and that reflect the quintessential traditional Jamaican vernacular architecture. And one such place is downtown. Downtown's older structures have maintained that integrity to the vernacular. And I think that, you know, if we utilize or we use the lessons learned from Havana, old Havana, and try to employ those strategies where the tourism actually helps to, with the restoration of these older buildings. Of course, they're occupied as well. We can have a thriving historical tourism product downtown. I think it definitely can be done, but it's going to take, firstly, the partnering with the international organizations that have a special interest in this kind of tourism, because there is, downtown could very well be preserved to become a World Heritage Site as well. It is one of the first areas in the Caribbean, in the Western Hemisphere, that brought about commerce and trade within the region. And, we are not playing upon this part of history. So I really feel that we are losing, these historical aspects that have value. We're losing them right in front of our eyes, and nobody's doing anything about it. Downtown definitely has that potential to be that tourism asset, just like Old Havana. I cannot see, any barriers or differences between the two, really.
But wasn't there a plan about downtown Kingston? I remember a former member of this club, Maureen Seymour, was involved at one stage with some downtown Kingston redevelopment. I don't know. I don't remember what happened to it. I don't hear about it anymore.
They're right now, they're about, I want to say maybe 5 redevelopment plans for downtown, and they're shelved at UDC.
Oh boy.
I can categorically say that. Clifton Yap, local architect Clifton Yap, who designed the same Milo Braca there. He's also the architect that designed Sovereign Center. He's done many buildings that we see around town. He actually did a comprehensive development plan for downtown. Where is it now? I can't tell you. Not even a pin has dropped in downtown with regards to that development plan.
But what would it take? I mean, people have to be buying. How does that happen? Because it's not just doing a project. I mean, there has to be some commercial desire for, so how does that get off the ground? Maybe
so right now,
yes, please.
So right now we see some of the buildings being remodeled into commercial entities. Developers, like it's a construction. They've bought a few of the buildings and they've converted them into commercial entities. However, it's going to take much more than that. It has to be a joint venture between the private sector and the government to inject capital into the area, into the rehabilitation of the area. And then from therefore, this is a sustainability of it thereafter. The people that live there, what are they doing to maintain these spaces? You may have a situation where you invite young professionals to live down there. There are incentives to bring them down there, incentives to bring business down there. I mean, downtown is probably the only waterfront in the region that I can think of where we don't utilize the waterfront to our benefit. It is woefully underused, especially with such a historical component added to it. As I said, it was the first place in the Western Hemisphere to conduct commerce and trade. That is something very important. Grace Kennedy has the first building. They've actually preserved it. The first building that Grace Kennedy built is still there, where the ships came in and they were able to trade goods and services. Goods, not services. Sorry, goods. That still exists, and it's because of Grace Kennedy that building still stands to this day. So there's a rich history down there that we're not utilizing to our benefit as a country.
Yes, I see another hand up. Oh, DLJ Willie, your time. Or did you not? DLJ, hey, Willie? Your hand is up.
Thank you,
Oh, what?
DP.
Oh,
Just
okay.
there are two comments in the chat I thought that bring our attention to. One is from Camille Leslie from New Kingston Club. A very compelling, well-presented presentation. Your insights into architecture, especially the emphasis on preserving and integrating local design in construction, were both enlightening and impactful. A truly engaging presentation. Another comment from Bridget Hosang from Kiwanis Club in New Kingston, and she may want to speak to this. How does the ordinary Jamaican work to influence policy?
Pardon?
Over
How
to you.
does the go again?
Ordinary Jamaican work to influence policy.
How does the ordinary Jamaicans work
Work to
influence
influence policy.
policy?
No,
Yes.
work
Influence
to influence. I guess she
to
just means how does
influence
the ordinary
policy.
Jamaican influence policy? Yes.
Well, I mean, you know, we have to speak to our MPs, our councillors, and then, you know, the election that just, you know,
To
passed,
vote.
we have to, it is a political thing at that point, you know, that is how policy is changed.
Yeah.
Your right to vote.
That's right.
That's right.
Larry, do you have a solution about this beachfront access? You know, there are two kinds of issues I see. There's the kind of beach where people develop it so that you have a changing room and you have food that can be sold and so on. That's one kind of beach issue, which I don't personally have a problem with. But then there's also the hotel type, the all-inclusive concept, and then they get control of the beach. Is that something that, again, I don't know how, is there an architectural solution that could be applied to make it more accessible for Jamaicans?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. And you know, Matthew Samudo had a policy change whereby all new hotels coming into the island, they have to maintain access to the foreshore, the beach. And I mean, this is nothing that is difficult. I mean, it just means leaving a reservation, maybe towards the perimeter of, you know, against the perimeter of the property, the boundary of the property. You may leave a reservation so that, you know, locals can access the beach. It is not difficult. It is just whether or not they want to do it or whether or not they're going to, you know, uphold and stay on the right side of the law and give persons the access. That is it. It's not difficult at all. Other Caribbean countries have been doing it for years upon years.
Happened in Barbados.
Barbados as well, yeah.
Yes.
It's not difficult. You just reserve a piece of land that is dedicated to access.
Okay, we're getting close to wrapping up now. If nobody else has a
My hand has been up.
Oh, your hand is up now. Okay.
Been up. When our guest speaker mentioned about downtown Kingston being a commercial thing, I had the opportunity.
Point of order. I think we need to do an extension.
Okay. Can I move for it since I'm on here?
Yes, you can.
All right. And so it's seconded. Well, I am just moving for that. PDG Ralston, I expect to second. All right. Thank you. Yes, I had the opportunity, it turns out to be 15 years ago, to go to Australia. And that Sydney Harbour, I just couldn't picture how you would convert downtown Kingston to be the nightlife place, but I see where the potential has been. And I know that folks have given it a thought, but I don't think it has gone any further. What's your pitch on that, Captain?
Of course, downtown, there's the issue of security and security because there's a lot of social issues, you know, and security issues downtown. There are ways to deal with those issues. I think people, you know, the people that reside in downtown maybe are without jobs, some are homeless, and that sort of thing. And if we, make provisions for these people, then we're able to overcome those social issues that are affecting the area. Now, once you bring business into downtown, you're automatically creating employment. Once there is business there and employment there, people will be more inclined to live down there. But there are very few businesses downtown. There are a lot of abandoned structures.
Those, yes. And the
Yes.
owners are probably away, and they're
Right,
not going to try to
and
get them.
they're breeding grounds for the homeless,
Yeah.
the violent, for criminals. So, I mean, once we start to clean up the area, inject businesses downtown, and have incentivize people to move down there, and incentivize developers as well, because they're not going to build down there unless there's some sort of incentive to go down there. They have to be incentivized, whether it is tax waivers, parcels of land that are given
Call it
in.
derelict now.
Yes, yeah. So there are many ways to get over that hump, which is the social issue with downtown and the what you call the skepticism with the potential that downtown has.
Just final comment is that downtown extends even up to the cathedral. And right by Kingston College, there are plenty buildings that we've been trying to acquire. You cannot find the owners. And of course, even if the agent knows who and they realize they are now going to be deprived of the liquor rent that they get, maybe illegally, you don't get any cooperation. So it stalls all the movements. And I can imagine that happens quite a bit over the city. Anyway,
It does.
Thank you.
It does. It does.
Okay. I think at this stage that we are probably exhausted. But maybe we could always continue a bit, but I think it's time to pass it back to President Stephen. And
Yes.
can invite thank you.
Yes, and Lorie, if you're available after the meeting concludes, which will be in a few minutes, if there are any further questions, maybe she can accommodate it afterwards.
Okay.
So thank you also. I thought that I remember from your presentation the part which was resonated with me, our roots are reflected in our roofs. That was well said. So thank you again personally for that presentation. And on behalf of everybody, our roots are reflected in our roofs, our ROFS. But to formally thank our guest, Captain McIntosh, I'm going to invite past director David Hall to say a few words on behalf of the club.
Thank you, President.
Great to hear you.
Yes, what's that?
Great to hear you.
Oh, definitely. Great to see you too. So let me just take the opportunity on behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston and our president, Captain Lorie-Ann McIntosh. Wow, what an inspiring and intriguing presentation. Some would even say engaging. I heard that word said. You know, you took us through an understanding of architecture is not only about a building, but about culture. You know, I think you started that off and you hooked us into listening more intently. You know, then you schooled us in a new term called Caribbean vernacular architecture, you know, and so you spun us, so you kept us intrigued, wanting more. You didn't stop there, you then took us through architecture 101, back to school days. And you took us through an architectural history, the veranda, wide and deep, or louvered windows. It's about privacy, security, controlling sunlight, pitch roofs, storm water runoff, raised floors, prevents flood damage. And then you took us to understanding our local material, natural stone and cement. So you kept us intrigued and wanting to know more. And based on the questions you have heard tonight, certainly you had our attention. And so we have to salute you, Captain, for that. But then you left us now to think with a question. What is the cost of losing our roots? And then in conclusion, President said one of them, but you said clearly, heritage can be blended with our modern roots. We looked at the modern against where we're coming from, our architecture. Development that's or more, but listen, you look at the fence abroad. Because of now abroad when is in 40 years ago. We don't know what happened then, but certainly you caused us to know a little bit more about their past and their hedonism experience. So I would like to say thank you very much on behalf of our President, Stephen, and the Capt. This evening. We appreciate and look forward to the policymakers present this evening. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
And we have a certificate of appreciation, which is now on the screen, which we hope to get to you at a later date.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Kiwanis Club of Kingston.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the second guest speaker, David.
We don't see him this long time, man.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
right.
really, he's not the man.
I think it was shorter than the prayer, though, you know.
Absolutely.
I didn't hear it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Thank you. Let's quickly conclude the meeting, and then we can continue with our banter, so to speak. I'm going to level a blanket fine on all the Kiwanian Club of Kingston members who are here, and keeping with the recently concluded general election, I'm going to ask all of those members who voted and exercised their democratic right only to pay a fine of $300, and those who were frightened by the rain or did not attend the voting station to pay a fine of $500 across the board. Please make your payment into the club administrative account. That's correct. By tomorrow. We look forward to your contribution. Moving quickly to notices and announcements. I'm going to ask DLJ Willie if he can share with us some of the upcoming activities and interclubbing opportunities this week.
Thank you, President Stephen. Just to reinforce, this Saturday, Divisional Council meeting, fourth quarter, Jamaica Officers Club or Park Camp. Registration begins at 9 a.m. and the cost of registration is $1,500. Just to remind you, the installation of officers and the changing of the guard at the North St. Andrew will be taking place at Upper Park Camp on Thursday, September 25th. And of course, President alluded to our joint installation with Nation Builders and Kiwanis Club at 23 Central Surrey Online on October 11th at Hope United Church at 4 p.m. And insofar as Kiwanis interclubbing opportunities, we have a very, very, very special invitation from Kiwanis Club of New Kingston. They'll be celebrating their 36th anniversary at their meeting tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. And I hope that we can put together a strong team to go and support them or support our daughters at their 36th anniversary meeting. Apart from that,
Willie, did you say 6:30 or 6?
no, I did say 6:30. In fact, I'm wrong. It's 6 o'clock. Thank you for the correction, Gertie.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm reading from my notes that I made an error. And of course, Kiwanis Club of North St. Angelo extend an invitation to us their meeting on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. I must mention, however, on Thursday, we had committed ourselves to assisting with the purchase of paint for the sickle cell unit. I'm hoping to put together a team. Past District Trustee Ralston has agreed to accompany me, and we want to say 2 more to come and look at areas where they need the paint most badly. I will be getting a quotation from Human Thing tomorrow regarding the paint, and hopefully we can meet with the medical social worker at sickle cell unit on Thursday afternoon. Well, okay, that is all for now. I will circulate interclubbing opportunities as they come up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Willie. We do have some, and you can, as I indicated, you can confirm me part of that interclub delegation for New Kingston tomorrow. All right.
Thank you very much, DP.
All right. We do have some visiting clubs online. Is there any club that would like to share an event at this time? Going once, going twice. Okay. If there's no event for our fellow Kiwanians, I'd like to formally call the meeting to a conclusion. But as I indicated to our guest, Captain McIntosh, that we do have something called Kiwanis After Dark. So after the meeting is formally ended, we can continue our conversation. And she has graciously agreed to hang around for a few minutes afterwards in case there's any comments or questions arising from her presentation. So with that, the last thing I have to do now is to formally terminate the meeting. But before I do so, I'd like you to raise your glass, if you have a glass, or in this case, have a flask. And let's propose a toast to Kiwanis International, Jamaica Land We Love. Cheers. This formally concludes the Kiwanis Club of Kingston meeting for this evening. Thank you, everybody. Have a safe journey home if you're not at home yet. And thank you for turning out. DLG, Trevor, we see you. Glad you could make it. Cheers.
Just a word. I lost power on my computer. It is now booting up, but because I have another device, that's why I'm able to still speak. So we can continue the chat. I won't be able to play any music until after the computer boots up. But we can continue the chat for now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If I'll exercise some presidential privilege and ask Lorie a quick question. I've noticed, and this is just a general question from a layman, I noticed in recent times that we have now developed this concept of bungalows over the water. First Sandal, South Coast, and then I think one of the properties in Hanover have done it. I always, over the years, thought it was something unique to Maldives and places like that, particularly because the ocean was very calm, or the reefs were very calm. Knowing Jamaica as it is, and knowing our suspect to hurricanes.
Susceptibility.
That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Susceptibility. With it. How safe are these, or do you think that has been factored into the planning, that if there's a hurricane, they're just blown down and they start again?
Well, that's exactly it, Stephen. That's how they look at it. They have different grades of construction. You have construction for a what they call a 5-year storm, like a storm that could probably happen within the 5 years, or a 10-year storm. And the level of construction is directly applied to that level of storm. And it affects the cost of construction, the type of materials used, and the building methodology. So Sandals, the overwater suites, I can't remember what year storm they were building to, but it was built with the recognition that in a storm, if it blows away, that the foundations will remain intact and they would rebuild the superstructure.
Okay.
That is how it is designed.
Okay. And as I said it, I remember that there was a situation with Floyd's bar, Pelican Bar,
Right.
Treasure Beach, that somehow it sustained burial or whatever recent system we had, and part
Yeah.
of that had to do with the substructure, as you call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, right. So they build it in a fashion where they know that, maybe the foundations, the walkways and so on will remain, but then the actual units themselves, the superstructure, that will probably experience extensive damage, and they're in a position to rebuild it because they've used cheaper materials for the actual superstructure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's something that I noticed when I moved into Montgomery in 1980. Every house was painted white. And
Mm-hmm.
today you cannot find two houses painted white because the colors are now reflective of person's own personality, the occupants.
Right.
And that is one of the most remarkable changes that I have seen when it comes to homes and the exterior.
Right. Yes, painting using pigment is a Caribbean thing. It is part of our identity to use color, something that has been handed down from our ancestors, the Africans. They came with the idea of, trying to stamp their own identity after colonization. So, yeah, it's something that we should try to, treasure and, yeah, continue as part of the local architectural vernacular.
One thing that struck me about color is in Curacao, they
Mhm.
have these row houses, and the bright colors, the reds and greens and yellows,
Mhm.
they just dominate,
Right.
and it is almost something that you could consider a feature,
Right.
because I see it very. We don't do it like that.
No,
But
no.
it's like a flat frontal front.
Right.
I mean, although they are separate units, and
Yes.
then each one has these bright colors. I remember
Mhm.
it in Curacao.
Yeah, absolutely. It's done in Bermuda as well. They use more pastel colors, and even Bermuda has their own architectural identity. If you go to Bermuda, you see that all the roofs are white. That's because they collect water on their roofs. And the white paint, which is like a lime, is like what they call lime. Um, helps to purify the water going down into the cisterns that the water storage cisterns that they have on the side of the house, and that is where that tradition of painting the roofs with lime came about, and over the years it just continued, and that became their architectural identity. That if you see a picture of Bermuda today, or if you Google it right now, you will see all these white roofs and these light pastel colored walls.
Could you say we talked about cross ventilation earlier?
Mhm.
Could you say something about um, the orientation of the house
Right.
in terms of which side the wind comes from? And I don't remember
Okay,
that
prevailing
part.
breezes. All right, so our
Northeast,
prevailing breezes, typically in Jamaica,
northeast.
especially in Kingston, come from the northeast at night. During the day, it comes from, or prevailing winds come southeast. So what
Southeast.
we typically try to do is to orient, our windows and so on to try and capture the prevailing breezes. Sometimes it's not possible because of, the context, the site conditions and so on. But we aim to do that. And also, we try to put our shorter facades, or narrow, shorter facades along the north and the south, and our wider facades, longer facades, to orient east-west. That is to capture most of the sunlight during the day. And also in terms of like using solar panels and so on, you have your longer facades with the solar panels oriented in a certain direction that you'll get the maximum amount of sunlight. So building orientation is very important in architecture. And we try to do it with every project, but sometimes it is not possible because of the site conditions.
And there's this thing they call box window. You know, when you build this, you build out a little lattice thing in front of the house, the window.
Right.
So you
Window
can
boxes. Window boxes.
But then I
Yes.
understand there's a finer design which some people have lost, which is that if you have louvers on the side, then you're supposed to close one side and open the other side so that when the wind comes in, it doesn't just go out and don't go into the house.
During a
Oh,
hurricane.
right.
No, not just
That's
normally.
for cross ventilation. Yes.
Yeah.
You need to have an inlet and an outlet. If you just have
Right.
an inlet alone, the breeze won't come in. It needs a way to go through. It's about negative and positive and negative and positive pressure. So if you leave one window open, you should always try to keep the opposite window open so that the breezes are pulled through the house.
But that wasn't what I was referring to though.
Oh,
On one side, let's suppose you build, because I have experience with this one, where you build this little box around and it's just lattice all around.
right.
It is nice because even when rain is falling, you can
You
kind
can
of
leave
leave
the
the
windows
windows open,
open.
and you don't
Yes.
necessarily right, and you can leave it at night. You don't have to, that
You don't
kind
have
of
to
thing,
worry about it. Yes,
right?
yes.
Especially if you're upstairs, if at a different
Yeah.
level. But the point I was getting is that I realized afterwards that there was another feature which is not often incorporated, where on the same window, on the short sides, you have louvers on one side, on both sides, but you
Oh,
can close one of those louvers so that the
right,
wind actually forces itself into the house,
right.
just on one side. That is something that I've seen, but I don't have that particular feature. But it's kind of
Yes,
nice.
yes, yes. We tend to use a combination of louvers and either sash windows or awning windows. So you put the louver windows on either side of the glass window, whether it is sash or awning, it doesn't matter. But that combination has proven to be the most effective for our context because, as you said, if it's raining or if it's raining, you can close the sash window or the awning window and open the louvers, and you still get ventilation coming in the house. If you didn't have the louvers, then when you close the glass component, which is the awning or the sash window or the casement window, there's no ventilation coming in at all. So the sash windows, the beauty about the sash windows are the awning windows, the glass windows, is that they bring in a lot of light. If we're to rely only on the louver windows, then you know that at certain times of the day or on a rainy day, if you close those windows, there's barely any natural light coming in there. So we tend to use a combination of both for our architecture.
Very interesting.
A certain practice that I saw from my parents is that in a hurricane, they would open a window on the leeward side of the building to
Correct.
relieve the buildup of pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Yes,
So they would
absolutely. That's
always,
how it works.
and when the wind change, you run to the other side and open a window on the
Right.
leeward side. Yeah.
Right. And that, basically reinforce what I was talking about with the uplift of the roof. There's no, if you don't have a way for the breeze to come out, that is when your roof lift off.
Lift.
Yeah. So that is why when Hurricane Gilbert in the 80s, you know, when the breeze blew in, you have to hurry up and open the window on the other side so that the breeze has somewhere to travel.
Yeah. Message is clear.
Yeah.
I've always admired the works of architects because they have a fantastic imagination. And I'm a surveyor, and I always say we help to turn your visions into reality.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes,
sometimes you think you could do this, and by the time you see the actual topography and so on and put
Topography.
into figures, you say, no, this can't work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The topography is the
But
first thing I get before I put pen to paper.
you get all the glory because what we do, nobody sees it afterwards. It didn't happen.
That's true. That's true. No, it's a true statement.
Yes, it's yeah.
Yeah. I remember a
Good.
surveyor, I will not name him, but he actually demanded that I give him some recognition by putting his name on the sheets of my drawings. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this moving forward. So I try to put into practice to always put the surveyor's name on the sheets so that persons looking on can know who the surveyor is at all times.
Yes. I only got that once when we did a project to Owen St. Anne, and when this billboard was up, you saw the name of the surveyor there. But I don't think it has happened since, and that is with early 2000.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Have a great evening. I am out.
And I'm happy I listened in. I would have lost a lot if I didn't. Keep up the good work, Miss McIntosh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm Earl Spencer, in case it could be
Earl
helpful. I'm Earl
Spencer.
Spencer.
I know your name. I know your name. I've seen your
Yes.
name on many a topo and surveyor's ID reports.
Yes, thank you. Okay, great.
right.
I'm happy that it is spotted. Okay then.
Yeah, my computer is like updating and doing all kind of stuff. But maybe that's why it just shut down. So it's not yet back up, but at least you know.
Yes.
But anyway, whenever I don't know if anybody else has anything else I want to contribute, but you are at
Just a
liberty.
quick one.
Go ahead.
David, so can I contact you off air, Captain?
Sure.
Right.
I can leave. Did I leave my contact information?
I can give him your number.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spencer.
I thought when I said the name David Hall, you'd react like you did for Earl Spencer. No, I'm just teasing. I'm not in your line of business at all.
Okay.
Don't worry about David. David and I share birthdays, although I was here before him.
Okay, all right.
In other words, he said he's my friend. So thank you.
Yes.
October 30.
Okay, that's my mother's birthday.
I see it. So you can bring David into the loop now.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, man. All right, so Mr. Hall, you can get my contact information from
That's the other Spencer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I will.
That's my brother, you know, Captain.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, so the family affair.
I'm the senior one.
No.
Oh, you're the senior. Okay.
Captain,
yeah.
Those are the two brothers that you caused us to know something about them and hedonism.
Okay. Got you.
Okay, I'm just getting ready to boot up now. So if anybody wants to hang around in a few minutes, I might be able to start playing some music. But thank you again, Lorie-Ann. It was really,
all
really
right. I'm going to go and eat some dinner right now.
Yeah.
and probably do some work. All right. So thank you
Okay.
again. Nice
And
to
good
meet you all.
night.
Good
All
night.
right.
Welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Well, Jamaica win 2-love. Trinidad
Yeah.
scored twice and were both offside.
You serious?
Yep.
Well, the coach can wipe some sweat off him, bro, man. I'm telling you. I'm starting to get ready.
Well, too many Jamaicans were cussing the man like him would start with the people from day one. So
Them cuss
they're
any
too
coach in her.
impatient.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
what
We
they
but
only
do.
we
I
only
heard some.
love success,
Yes.
I
not
heard some
nets.
guys after the 4-love win, right? Me and some guys say, well, if this is what we're, if this is the best we can do, might as well we sit over and watch it on TV. No, so I had to chime in and say, you think that every team, now because it's not a big name team, is 11 man with 2 foot each? You think them
And
don't know
one
football?
ball there,
You know, you think
ball
they were
around.
going like say because of Bermuda. That's what the team with them, Bermuda, yeah.
Yes,
As if
Bermuda,
to say,
because
them can't play football. Them must can play football, you know. But you know, and them must have belittle the side. Say, give them
yeah,
a
because
chance and let them score 4 goals. Sure.
I heard a guy in a chat say that anytime any team we play against, them always look better than us. The coach no good. And the same time after, we scored. That was the 6th minute. Then we scored the 26th minute. Then the 58th minute. So and then afterwards they must have said something. Yeah. People don't like to admit when they're wrong. And they chat too
Right.
much. And them can't even play the game.
You know, that's one thing about that I hate about social media. There are people who get a voice, and them shouldn't have no
Oh
voice.
Lord.
Them must only get to talk on them veranda or them backyard. That is where they should be able to vent or communicate to their peers. You know, and we shouldn't have to be subject to even what they have to say because they have no contribution to make to anything.
Except to say, Stu, with the architectural vernacular, plenty people do have no veranda. The changes in there. Oh boy.
That is correct.
And you know what was the meaning of the word liaison? Why I was wondering if I was using the word when I was looking it up. It was a project I was doing, And I was going to write liaison, and I'm a good speller, but because it's a project, I don't want to make no mistake. So I look it up. And when I look, the first meaning was illicit intimacy with a woman. I said, not this word I want. And when
Well,
I look further down, the history, I said, oh, yes, that's the word I want. So it's okay. Make it.
but I used to hear, you see, I used to use lays as a verb. And people would say that it is not a verb. It's as if
Oh, you
it's
mean
not supposed.
LAY?
No, lays. That
Oh,
is spelled with
liaise.
a
Yeah,
Y.
it is a verb.
Lays. No, but there are people who say it is really not well, I don't know if they meant originally. That was never meant to be used. Like you have a liaison that you talk about. You talk about a
Liaison
liaison
officer. Yeah.
or something, but as if to say to liaise was never intended to be used as in a verb, let's say a verb like manner then. But I never take them on because I mean it seemed not natural to me to
To
use it
say the
like that.
correct thing. Well, I
Yeah.
used to hear Big Kiwan say, I will liaison with you later.
No, that
And
is
that's the
wrong.
known.
That yeah, you
But
have to
they
say
didn't know,
liaise.
and I couldn't correct them. I kept quiet. You'd have to do it privately.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, once I actually heard a man, much my senior at the time, oh, he's still my senior, say that he had prostate cancer.
Oh,
And I said,
okay.
I can't tell him say it's prostate. No, sir, make him say. Some things you leave alone. What I'm
Yeah,
saying is not
something.
every ball you play.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
boy.
That's true. Right.
Anyway,
I
have
will
a good
correct
night,
them.
and
I
I'm glad you
will
reminded
correct
me
them.
about the meeting. And it's a
Liaison,
good thing I
liaison.
can use my phone a little better now.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. You know.
I know some of us want to have the live meetings, but if we could dedicate one a month instead of only the 5 thing, maybe the numbers will improve. But you will never get a good number like when you're on Zoom. It's
And to
just
me,
that we ought to get to know the faces.
yeah, I think we can also plan other activities that bring us together. But it's just that sometimes when you put on these presentations,
No, hardly anybody if you know.
it's kind
Yeah.
of would be a shame if it wasn't shared more widely than the
Yeah.
few people who would show up. You know, it kind of seemed like, you know, we almost owe it to share the information that we are putting out there.
Benefiting from, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, so that it reach more people. But anyway, I'm almost
Change.
there. I'm almost
Yeah.
there.
All right, you have 10 participants, and I think you already have 8.
I think we have 7 because I'm chipping out too.
And
Yeah.
so I will come back if anything, but I'm stepping out too.
Okay.
All right, Stu. Good. All
That's
right,
good.
David.
Yeah,
Long
man.
time I don't hear you or see you, man. Yeah.
Yes, we have a link. But we're good. I'm good. Busy,
Good,
but
good.
good.
Well, that's good. I'm supposed to be out of this business, but holding on a little more till the 2 new commission land surveyors get a little foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
All right,
Good night,
that's-
everybody.
Night, everyone.
All right, Aaron. All right, we're coming up now. Let me what can I start with? Let's make sure we have some sound on this. Still trying to connect. Having a little difficulty, but
Jamaica. Jamaica, man.
Good night, all. Take care.
okay. Night, Press. Jeez. Trevor, it taking too long to really work out. I don't know why. After it boots up back, it just I get a lot of buffering. So it looked like you have to call it off.
Okay, mediator, good.
Yeah, man. All right.
All right.
Next time. Okay. But it must be all from the same battle boy them carry because the sink wasn't blocked up before.
He's the top-ranking Democrat on the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. Senator, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I would like you, as with your former federal prosecutor hat, to begin this discussion and picking up where we just left it with David, which is about the under oath testimony that his reporting refers to. It's all in civil cases. It's all in lawsuits brought against J.P. Morgan. None of it is testimony under oath in a courtroom in a criminal case. And in general, what happens if someone commits perjury in a civil lawsuit? How often or how likely is that to come to the attention of federal prosecutors?
Well, it would depend on, the traditional standard for dealing with that is how material was it? Was it just an incidental lie at no moment? But if it was material, that counts. If it had an effect in the outcome of the trial, that would make a big difference. And what was the intent behind it? Was it a slip of the tongue? Was it a misreading? Or did it seem like it was a deliberate lie? If you look at those things, and there's every reason to enforce it, that would often be done in the form of filing in the civil court for the form of contempt or another remedy that somebody lied, and it happened right in the court, and the judge needs to do something about it because the other person was harmed by
Senator,
Judge has to be roll here.
as a student of dark money, as you've all taught us about how it has flowed to the United States Supreme Court and influenced the judges there, this New York Times reporting about the dark Epstein money moving through J.P. Morgan, massive amounts of cash being transferred to these people young girls who was victimizing at the time, and J.P. Morgan allowing it all to happen until the very last minute, until it was actually in handcuffs. Is one of those stories that sounds like something you could have mapped out for us if you have the resources to find that.
Yeah, with the added feature here that those federal reports that the bank filed when it's troubled to file them are actually called suspicious activity reports. That's what SARS, the term, stands for. So if you wanted a clue with the bank whether this was suspicious activity, you might look at the heading of the form that you filed that said suspicious activity reports. And, you talked about how there was a big settlement with the victims, and there was a settlement with the Virgin Islands. I don't recall any settlement with the United States. And so we'll see where that goes. But clearly, this is the same material that Chairman Wyden and the Finance Committee revealed a while ago. And so there's been plenty of opportunity for this to be investigated by the FBI. So while Attorney General Bondi and FBI Director Capt were doing all this big talk about getting the absolute bottom of everything, here was this trove of information right in front of them, and no visible effort to do the slightest bit of investigation. And again, these things are called suspicious activity reports, for Pete's sake.
Senator, we have to squeeze in a commercial break. If you can stay with us, I want to get your reaction to the latest doings of the United States Supreme Court. We'll be right back after this break.
It looks like an ordinary staircase, but as you age with occasional nose discomfort that can feel like stabbing or pins and needles in your hands and feet, sometimes stairs can bring worry. As a retired physician, I've seen it in my patients, but I didn't truly understand it until I got older myself. So now, I take Nervive.
Nervive reduces occasional nerve discomfort. It combines neurotropic B vitamins with a clinically studied amount of ALA, which reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days. In your hands and feet, Nervive comes from the makers of the world's #1 nerve care brand.
With Nervive, I'm sleeping great, and my day starts with less occasional burning in my hands and feet. I'm moving through my house with confidence, and I'm getting around town. Getting older happens, but living with occasional nerve discomfort doesn't have to. Try Nervive like I did, and get your freedom back.
Find Nervive at these retailers near you. Feel confident with Nervive.
Hey everybody, W. Kamau Bell here. They say that America is the land of the free. Right now, people in the U.S. are seeing their freedoms taken away at an alarming rate. Freedoms some of us take for granted. The right to vote, equal access to health care, book banning and other forms of censorship that threaten our right to learn. And here's something truly shocking. Right now in our country, hundreds of thousands of people are incarcerated simply because they couldn't afford bail. That's not freedom, and it's not fair. But there is hope for change. It lives in people like you, and in a great organization called the American Civil Liberties Union. So please join me and other concerned Americans in defending our civil liberties by joining the ACLU as a guardian of liberty today. All it takes is just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day.
When you're surrounded by oppressive laws, you can't just sit back and be afraid. You get up and fight. And all of us at the ACLU are fighting for you.
Whether it's criminal justice reform, or protecting LGBTQ plus rights, abortion rights, or voting rights, the ACLU is in the courts, fighting for your rights and mine.
How much diploma charge?
Knowing they're working every day in all 50 states to protect our freedom. These freedoms are risks.
Oh, yeah?
Tireless. Your health continue to do so. So please go to myACLU.org and join the fight for just $19 a month. Use your credit card to get special We the People t-shirts, ACLU magazine, and show your helping ensure justice for all.
This is unbelievable. Donating to the ACLU
is one of the most powerful things we can do to fight crime.
I mean, they said you can't do it alone. They need your support now. Continue defending our democracy and the freedom.
The rapper or the condom?
So please join us. Always going
Oh, both.
IACLU.org today.
I run in at Pure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me found more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein, 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, and a protein blend that keeps muscles up to 7 hours.
This Friday, experience a grand finale worthy of Downton Abbey.
How exciting!
And the best Downton movie of them all.
You ready?
I am. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, rated PG, only in theaters this Friday.
This is a Morgan & Morgan airbag alert. I'm Matt Morgan, Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a 50-time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon the plane. Others have suffered skull fractures, lacerations, and other injuries. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. The airbag recall is the largest
For your mercy never fails me. All my days, I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
There's only one. We're going to for the people.
'Cause all my life you have been faithful.
575-0044.
And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
I love your voice. You have led me through the fire and darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God.
'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Oh, yes, you have. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Oh, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Oh, all my life you have been faithful. Oh, you are faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending broken hearts. I worship you. I worship you. Hey, hey, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You wipe away my tears. You mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all. Jesus, you wipe away all tears. You mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all, to it all. Jesus, yeah. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, My beloved is the most beautiful among thousands. And
sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free, set me free. The finest years I ever knew is all the years I had with you, and I would give anything I own, give up my life, my heart, my own, and I would give anything I own just to have you back again. Is there someone you know that won't let you go, and taking it all for granted? You may lose them one day, someone takes them away, and you don't hear a word they say. And I would give anything I own, give up my life, my heart, my own, and I would give anything I own just to have you back again, just to talk to you words again. If there's give anything I own just to have you back again, just to talk to you words again, just to hold you once again.
I'd like to kiss you once more, just to hold you once more. I'd like to find out for sure if you must leave me now, my darling. Tell me now.
Say
I'd
what?
like to find out from you.
Huh?
Why must you make me feel blue?
Oh,
I'd like to know what to do to make you feel alright, my darling.
then this one a good music.
My side. I'd like to kiss you once more, just to hold you once more. I'd like to find out for sure if you must leave me now, my darling. Tell me now. I'd like to find out from you. Why must you make me feel blue? I'd like to know what to do to make you feel alright, my darling. Never leave my side. I'd like to kiss you once more, just to hold you once more. I'd like to find out for sure if you must leave me now, my darling. Tell me now. I'd like to find out from you. Why must you
Yeah?
make me feel blue? I'd like to know what
Yeah?
to do to make you feel alright, my darling. Never leave my side.
If you were charged as much?
Please don't say
Well, like how I wasn't there, you know, I don't really have a tool. I can only go off what you tell me. But that, I would think that's a little high. I don't think that's what would charge someone.
why you treating me so.
Well,
Give my love a try.
but he would not be able to come at this time. I wouldn't expect him to come at this time. Huh?
Kiss and say goodbye. Give my love a try. Please and say goodbye.
And for here,
Give my love a try. Don't make
number one. Oh yeah? In December. No, when is the booking date? September.
I just did a reservation in England. Every place go right.
on that dreamland, and we'll have so much fun. We live together on that dreamland. Breakfast from the trees. We
I would choose you, Lord, over and over again. I will choose your way over and over again. There is no going back to the place that I used to be. Help me to know you more, more, more. I will choose you, Lord, over and over again. I will choose your way, over and over again. There is no going back to the place that I used to be. Help me to know you more, more, more. Help me to seek you more, more, more. Lord, you got my heart. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Lord, you got my heart. Yeah, yeah. I will choose you, Lord, over and over again. I will choose your ways over and over again. There is no going back to the place that I used to be. I am not going back to the past where I used to be. Lord, Lord, I give you all my life. Father, I give you all my life. Yeah, I give you all my life. Yeah, I will choose you, Lord, over and over again. I will choose your way over and over again. There is no going back to the place that I used to be. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I will stay here with you. I'm not going back. Oh, I'm not going back. Not going back. Father, I'm not going back. I'm not going. I'm not going back. I'm not going. Father, I'm not going back. I'm sticking to your promises. I'm not going back. No, no. Father, I'm not going back. 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 Going back. Going back.
Alan Cole dead. You hear? Alan Cole, he died. Yeah.
Things you keep my eyes stayed on you, 'cause
Okay.
you
My buddies told me that I should have waited. They say I'm missing a whole world of fun, but I am happy and I sing with pride. I like the Christian life. I won't lose a friend by heeding God's call. For what is a friend who wants you to fall? Others find pleasure in things I despise. I like the Christian life. My body shunned me since I turned to Jesus, but I still love them, though they burden my heart. I'll try to lead them to walk in the light. I like the Christian life. I won't lose a friend by heeding God's call. For what is a friend who would want you to fall? Others find pleasures in things I dislike. I like the Christian life. Yeah. My buddies told me that I should have waited. They say I'm missing a whole world of fun, but I am happy and I sing with pride. I like the Christian life. I won't lose a friend by heeding God's call. For what is a friend who would want you to fall? Others find pleasure in things I dislike. I like the Christian life. I like the Christian life. Yes, I like the Christian life. Yes, I like the Christian life. I like it. 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 just remember, God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. So there's no need to cry. God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. So don't you worry and don't cry. Oh Lord, yeah. Forget about your troubles. Forget about your pain. Yeah. Put your trust in the Father. Yeah. Oh Lord. God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. So there's no need to cry, no need to cry. Oh, God is standing by. Lord Almighty, so don't you worry and don't cry. Don't cry. Forget about your troubles and don't cry. No. Forget about your pain and don't cry. Just trust in the Father and don't cry. No, I don't shed no tears. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Who is this man who holds the world in his hands? Who is this man who created sea and land? Everyone should know him, the King of Kings he is. Everyone should hail his imperial majesty.
ain't got jokes on that. You know, I never asked, but I just hear people live with different angles.
Jehovah is ever living, ever faithful. In him you are secure. Jehovah is reaching out to you. For you he's got a whole lot of things in store. Dear Father, as I'm on my knees, I pray for the dwellings of this earth and also my enemies. Praying time, there is over now, it's praying time. I pray my wife and my kids and my friends and my neighbors, they all are feeling fine. Just put the troubles and the worries behind. You can put all your trust in the Father, cause I know he's so kind. People call on the Father when they are so in need. God, we believe, yes, we can see that wonders are still what you do, and bodies are still being raised, giants are still being slain. 'Cause God, we believe, yes, we can see wonders are still what you do. We are here for you. Come and do what you do. We are here for you. Come and do what you do. We set our heart on you right now. Come and do what you do. This is more. Oh, this is more. Oh, this is more. Oh, this is more. We don't have to wait any longer. This is standing in the middle of a move. Standing in the middle of a move. This is this is just kind of sense this. Lay your hands on the people, just like on their shoulders, the one beside you. There's a move happening in this room. And I don't know what you need. If you need healing from whatever it may be, I hear asthma and diabetes, or if there are any cysts in the room. God is moving up and down these aisles right now. And I just want us to take a moment and let him do what he does. Do what you do. Do what you do. Ooh, this is a move. Do what you do. This is a move. Yes, Lord. This is a move. This is, and it's flowing from hand to hand. This is Understand it.